And so I'm really glad I did it. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, is running my own firm and also being a practicing attorney and also having twins. A lot of it I credit to you, actually, because you're always pushing people to start their own firm and do their own thing and make a name for themselves, but you find a way to do it. I heard someone describe it recently as it's like you're juggling a bunch of balls, but some are glass, and you have to figure out which ones are glass and which ones aren't. It's like sometimes you think things are important and something's more important. I had the opportunity to be where a lot of people don't go right away in their career, which is realizing how to value your law firm.
Welcome to this episode of Bourbon of Proof, where we interview those who have been both successful at law and life. And today we are in front of a live audience. I don't know if they're still alive yet because it's midday here in wonderful, beautiful Detroit. Mauro, isn't it glorious here?
Hello. Detroit downtown here, I've never been. It's amazing. It's vibrant. It looks clean. It looks like people are having a good time. There's a Lululemon store down here, which that means the neighborhood is getting better.
That's how he does. Of course, we have our first guest of Detroit, none other than Chrissy Hagen. Welcome to the show, Chrissy.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we're here at the rooftop at Gillies here, Gillies Clubhouse at the rooftop. Thanks to them, Chinelo Hotel, Salmonella.
You'll get it right one of these days.
San Morello, thank you. But so far, Detroit's been awesome to us. So the job that Mauro and I were looking for insurgents on the streets. There doesn't seem to be any. So we'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, Mauro said before this he was a little scared to come to Detroit, and this is nothing like what he expected. So that's good.
I think the insurgents are in Dearborn.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, first we have our bourbon steward, Will, came back from Bourbon and Bubbles. Will, ladies and gentlemen, Will, our bourbon steward, he flew in from Charleston today. He's got some special picks for Chrissy Hagen. Let's go.
So the first one we've got here, we figured to be appropriate. I heard you were from Colorado.
That's right.
Yeah. So I've got something that's actually distilled and made in Denver. Stranahan's Distillery. It's out there in Denver, Colorado. They are making American single malt whiskey. So this is the newest whiskey designation in the last 50 years worldwide. It's still kind of worked on what makes American single malt. Single malt, they've got a couple of key factors here and there, but they're still kind of fine-tuning it. With that being said, this is the limited 10-year edition they put out. It is the High Angels share that they released. With that being said, it is cut with Rocky Mountain distilled water. And then because of the high elevation there in Denver and the new char oak barrels, they have such a high angel share, 60%.
Wow,
Angel
take
share
it to the Angels.
Coming this one. I mean, they're getting the good stuff out of this one. You're getting a little bit more of a deeper, richer whiskey that you would normally get out of a 10-year. I think you're going to be very intrigued by this one because this one kind of makes me go all over the place on profile.
All right, we're ready to pour. Before we pour, we got our ice, which we got from the Chinelo Hotel next door. We're going to go ahead and stamp that. So Mauro is officially, look at that, Simon Law Group logo. Look how clean it looks on these ones. Oh boy, look at that.
Love it.
Mine ran out of juice because it's not as hot. So the angel share, for those watching, listening, who don't know, is as it sits in ages and barrels, you lose so much to the angels, a percentage every year. It's supposed to be like 1% a year. Was it 5% a year? Between 2 and 4% a year, you lose to the angels. So that's why more of an aged barrel, you get less booze out of it. When he says it took that much to the angels, it must mean somebody's partying in heaven. All right, Chrissy, to street lawyers, street justice, to Colorado,
Cheers.
to Michigan.
Cheers. That's good.
It's definitely a whiskey.
That's a single malt. You can take you all over.
I have to say, I'm not a huge bourbon or whiskey drinker.
I read your show notes. I know, but you're going to do it.
Yeah. I know for sure. I went to Michigan State. I said I'd try any type of alcohol, but Jaeger. That's the one I will not do.
It reminds me a lot of like a Macallan. Very similar.
I don't get that, PD. So I don't know if you know, but Chrissy she's in the trucking group of AJ, but she has something called Mother Truckers, which I thought is an amazing name.
We do, yeah. And it got so big, actually, we ended up forming a nonprofit, and now it's called Sisterhood of the 8. And the 8 signifies once you get an 8-figure verdict, the jacket you're wearing, you get embroidered with your name, the date of the verdict, and then it gets passed around to the other sisters in the sisterhood or the other mother truckers. So
That's cool.
that was something that was started by Maxie Scher, Christy Childers, and Tanya Brooks, all
Wow.
phenomenal lawyers. But it's really cool to see how big that's gotten. Every year we do a massive rally.
Where do you do these rallies? I didn't know
Yeah,
this.
so every year it's different. It started out in Montana. We went out to a trucking school and we drove tractor trailers, got to see how inspections are done. It really helps when you're deposing the truck driver because you know the ins and the outs, how long an inspection's supposed to take. It's, fun fact, it's longer than 15 minutes, but they'll always say, I did my inspection, did my pre-trip. I got to drive an 18-wheeler. I'm not good at it. We have a boat, and so I bragged to my husband. I was like, I can back the boat in the driveway. Just let me do it. I could drive an 18-wheeler. And it was nothing. I was bad at both, I guess, but still fun.
I mean, Mauro has something similar to the Sisters of the Eight. But he does it with his Fruit of the Loom underwear, and he just passes it along to his friends.
Yes. We write down
I
our
heard
verdicts.
about this. No, you throw away your underwear everywhere you go.
Well, I mean, I
Abandoned.
don't need to transport that. It's like transporting hazardous waste. So I leave them. I abandon them.
But Mauro's part of the Brothers of Justice, where they have a motorcycle club with actual leather cuts. And,
Yeah, we have leather vests and
I didn't know that.
it's called the Brothers of Justice. We haven't had a meeting in a while. I was thinking we got to call a meeting here soon and get back on the road. And the winter in LA is a really good time to ride because the weather's nice.
Yeah, but
Nice.
he rode the Sturgis once.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so Chrissy's one of the few female well-known trucking lawyers, right? Because AJ is mostly
right.
dudes.
Yes, and actually I'm taking the trucking board certification exam next week.
Oh.
So assuming I pass, I'll be the only certified truck driving, mother
So
trucker woman
when
in
you
Michigan.
pass, we're going to post this on the episode.
Yay, thank you.
We'll do a toast to mother trucker, and you'll get your jack. But what's on the test?
Yeah, so you have to, there's a lot that goes into it. You have to certify that you've done a certain number of trials, taken a certain number of expert witness depositions, expert disclosures, and then you have to know the FMCSRs inside and out, basically.
Oh, I think there's only one woman I know, and she's in California that's certified.
Kate Harvey Lee.
Yes,
probably.
Kate Harvey Lee.
Yeah.
She's the only one. Do you
Yeah.
know Kate Harvey Lee?
Kate Harvey Lee? No.
She used to be with Baum Headland, I believe, and she went out on her own. She's the only certified trucking lawyer that's a woman currently that I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you'd be number 2?
Well, not number 2 in the nation, number 1 in Michigan.
Wow.
And I think there's a couple others in California and then some other states.
Bob, did I tell you about my recent examination success that I had?
Was it the proctologist visit you were
No.
talking to the plane? No.
That was also very, eventful, but I had to take the MPRE recently to get
By the way, that's ethics when they test you for ethics as a lawyer. So
it's an ethics exam. It's graded very hard.
See, that's on my test too, and so I have to study for that too.
So I'm getting into a new state to get licensed, and even though I've practiced for decades with no discipline or anything, they said, well, you need to pass the MPRE, get a score of 85 or more on the MPRE, and then you can get a license here. And I hadn't taken that test since the 90s. Been practicing a long time. And I studied for it for like 2 hours, and I didn't know if I could have got 85. I was like, man, I got to take this shit again. And I got my score back, and guess what I got? Did I tell you about what I got?
like a 97, something
I
crazy.
got a 100.
You got a 100.
A 100.
You mean
That's
100% wrong.
100. I got a higher score on it now than I did when I was in law school. I remember in law school I got an 80.
Well, that's because you know all the things you did wrong, and you just say
Yeah.
you can't do those.
So don't worry, don't fear the MPRE if you got to take it. I crushed it.
Okay, good to
I got
know.
a 100 scaled score.
Okay,
So, but I was in the 100, so pretty high.
good
He
to
was,
know.
he's the only one that took the test, so he's competing against himself. So, Chrissy, now you were in Colorado, and I've seen you with your kids at Lauderdale before, your husband. Now you're here in Michigan. So, what brought you back?
Yeah, so I moved out to Colorado, 10 years ago now, for the same reason most people do, because it's a cool state, and I like to ski, and I was like, Colorado seems fun. And I met my husband out there. He's from Michigan.
Wait, he's from Michigan? You met him
He's
out in
from
Colorado?
Michigan. I met him in Colorado. And we found out we were pregnant, and we're like, this is fine. We can do this with no family. We can make it work. Found out it's twins, and we're like, we're moving back. Let's go. So we moved back to where our families are, and so that's why, it's because twins.
I don't like my parents. I mean, I'm a twin, so we were the first in our
that's
family.
right.
And my brother was in the hospital for like a month, like in the NICU. And I don't know how. My dad is a truck driver, how he was able to my mom and dad, because my grandparents had to be there. There's no way if they didn't have family support that
Right.
could have been done.
Yeah, especially so this is like right around COVID times too, and I can't even imagine not having family around. So I'm glad it worked out.
Well, we are glad too. So
Yeah.
this is a bourbon, so you got to drink it.
I know.
Well, bottoms up. Mauro and I are thirsty.
You guys are like sneaky fast at this.
Well, we're registered. You know how you take a test for trucking? We took a test for alcoholism. We passed. We passed. Yeah. But
Oh man.
bourbon.
Well, should we open your gifts too?
This are your
When do you
gifts.
wanna do that?
We got one for you, so we'll open up the gifts. You
Oh.
open up ours, so we get
Okay.
you something as well.
Thank you.
What's in the box?
So this incorporates two things I know you guys love, which are golf and drinking.
I love it. I love
So-
a surprise.
Yeah. So one of my, do you know what birdie juice is or birdie juice
Yeah.
shots? Okay. So
I
this
wear
would
'em
make
on-
sense to
I wear
you.
them on the show. Birdie juice.
So they are shot glasses that you can take on the course and do any celebrations with. You know, if you get a birdie, if you get an eagle, and they are customized, as you can see. Do you want me to read it to you?
Girl, dad, hustle, bourbon, muscle.
Mine
Well
says-
played. I'm trademarking that immediately.
Mine says birdie swing, premise is king. I like that.
I've heard about you. Premise
This
king
is
over
very
here.
well,
I
very
love
well
that.
played.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
very thoughtful.
Yeah.
And very nice of you. This is amazing.
See, this is something I always tell people when you give somebody a gift or swag, make it something for them so it's
Yes.
memorable and it's cool. So like I will definitely use this. I'm taking this, I'll put this in my golf.
was that?
Actually,
Nice.
I don't take a golf bag, I just use other people's clubs.
Yeah.
So I
Kind of
bring
like he goes on other people's vacations.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's good at
Bob,
that.
Bob came out to play golf with me the other day. Just showed up.
Yeah.
We picked him up in the parking lot. He played one hole. He made a birdie, and then that was it.
That's it. So guys, my work here is
I
finished.
love this, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's the
That's
OG Bourbon of
amazing.
Proof
See, Bob,
flask.
what was that lady from
my gosh,
Oasis?
thank
know,
you.
That was on. This is if she's still watching. This is the kind of gifts you get people.
Oh, Marissa,
Not-
she knows.
Not 99-cent cookies.
Yeah, so shout out to some of our sponsors. We have Smart Reviews. Smart Reviews is in the house. We see Kate Hoffman back there. Smart Reviews make sure there's no fraud. They actually snuff out fraudulent lawyers as well as fraudulent clients. But we have Even Up, we can announce it now. They got their $2 billion valuation. $2 billion this company's now worth. They have some good swag. Coastal Research does policy limit searches. Justice HQ, the mobile app for the entire legal industry. We're actually bringing everybody together for the Rideshare Responsibility Coalition now on Justice HQ, so people have a private space to share ideas, be able to make sure Uber is held accountable for all the sex abuse victims. And attorneys share the marketplace to track all of the cases for us. Got them all. All right, Bourbon, Will. Again, from Bourbon Bubble, South Carolina, Charleston, we have Will, who we abducted from Charleston. We said, well, Mauro and I sometimes get too drunk, we can't remember the bottles, so we need some help. And, well, we found it.
We have a real pro.
Yeah, thanks for having me back out, guys. I appreciate it. So the next one we're going to be drinking is the Old Forester 1910, part of the Whiskey Row series. If you know anything about Old Forester, it's one of the most historic distilleries out there. First bottled bourbon in the country, first double oaked, first single barrel, only distillery in production before, during, and after Prohibition. That being said, Whiskey Row series highlights things that they have had an impact on the whiskey industry as a whole. 1910, their bottling line caught on fire. As you can probably imagine, whiskey and fire do not mix. So they quickly evacuated the building, evacuated all the whiskey, rebarreled it, and got everybody clear. 6 months later, they were able to get the bottling line back up and running. They popped those barrels open and went, wait a minute, this tastes nothing like Old Forester. What is this? That was your first ever double oaked that was made. So this is a recreation of the original, first ever double oak.
Wow, Old Forester, and it's actually in downtown Louisville. Chrissy, have you ever been to the Old Forester in downtown Louisville?
I have not.
Highly recommended. Been through their tour. It's actually, for one of the oldest ones, they go through the whole history. And Old Forester, he was what? He was an old doctor, right? He was a physician. And which reminds everybody on the show, drink responsibly, but whiskey is medicinal, and Old Forester was a medical doctor, and he proved to everybody that, I think he lived to be 205. Don't quote me on that, because he drank whiskey every day. A healthy 205.
I think there's I think it might be a Guy Clark song where he says there's more old drunks than there are old doctors. And that's true, I think old drunks live the longest.
Yeah, and all old rock and roll dudes, too. I mean, cheers, thank you.
Look
All
at
right.
Keith Richards.
Cheers.
What do you do your cheers to, Chrissy? What is it?
Or what are we doing your cheers to?
Yeah, you get. I mean, what do you say? When you guys do cheers?
I don't know. I usually just say cheers. Welcome to Detroit, I guess.
Detroit.
For this one.
Oh, that's good shit.
Wow, that's great.
That's good.
So different than the first one.
Much different.
I remember when I was
you could
a
taste
kid,
the difference, right? Even
I
as
can
a
taste the
non-
difference,
yeah.
but I'm trying to think of how I'd ever describe it.
When I was a kid, I was a
This
big
tastes like-
boxing fan.
dreams and rainbows. And
Did you watch boxing back in the 80s?
Of course, I watched Mike Tyson.
I just remember like the first like person that I could ever like associate with Detroit was a boxer named Tommy Hearns. And he would come out to these, he fought like Sugar Ray Leonard and all these big guys. And he had like 10 nicknames. He would be like, this is the Motor City Cobra, they called him. That was his nickname. And he had like all these nicknames when they announced him, but he was from Detroit. He was very proud to be from Detroit. He was the Motor City Cobra.
There's some very famous people from Detroit. So Mauro could probably name them all, but you being from Michigan, went to Michigan State. First, I'll do some Michigan State trivia for you, okay?
Okay. Gosh, I heard you do this with Michaela.
Michigan State.
And I was like, I could never be
Michigan
that
State
good.
Spartans?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not your show. I
Okay,
mean, she's doing the
I mean,
she's
I know
she's the
Eminem's
guest.
from here, Kid Rock, but that's like the extent of my knowledge.
You know a lot more. But who was the greatest basketball player that came from Michigan State?
God, that's
Oh,
easy.
I know this.
one's
Magic
easy.
Johnson.
That is correct.
Okay.
What is
Good.
Magic Johnson's real name?
I also feel like I know this, but I can't remember.
It is a strange name.
Go ahead, Mauro. You can answer.
Irvin.
Yes, Irvin. And what's his wife's name?
I have no idea.
Mauro?
Cookie.
Wow, he's good at this.
Yeah.
So what years were you at Michigan State?
I was there 2005 to 2009.
Okay, who are named two NFL players that came from Michigan State? Probably from that era.
So I didn't make it to a lot of games. I went to the tailgates, but it's
okay.
not like, cool to go to the games.
Sure it is.
Okay. I know Charlie Gant played. I don't know if he was in the NFL, but his sister's here actually in the audience.
Wow,
Fun
that's
fact.
we could do a guest pour conversation with this.
We should.
Charlie who?
Charlie
Gant.
Gant. He was a big football player at Michigan State. Adam Decker. He played in the NFL.
Yes, true.
Yeah, so there's one.
You got two.
Okay, great.
You also had Le'Veon Bell was around there at the same time you were, and Kirk Cousins.
Oh yeah, I should have gotten that
Should have
one.
got Kirk Cousins.
Who
Yeah.
was that quarterback who played in the NFL for like 20 years from Eastern Michigan? Charlie Batch.
Yeah.
Remember Charlie Batch? He played for the Steelers, didn't he?
So
I thought
Char-
he played for the Lions.
He played for the Lions
he
too.
got drafted. So the Lions, he was the starter for the Lions, and then he was backup for the Steelers. But he grew up in Pittsburgh. So Charlie, as kids, we used to say this thing that one day we're going to throw the Simon family semi-annual bi-weekly ball and every midwinter's classic, and one year we'll get Charlie Batch, and Charlie Batch will be able to come. And he now does all the commentary for stuff in Pittsburgh. But Charlie, if you're watching or listening, we're going to get you on the show because it's a childhood dream to get Charlie Batch.
I have a good
awesome.
Charlie Batch story. It's a long one. Maybe we'll tell another story on another show. But I hung out with him one time when he was in college, and we got in some trouble with a guy who I think now might be going in the Hall of Fame for football, Jeff Saturday.
The
who
center
played-
from the
the center
Indianapolis
from
Colts.
the Colts.
Does this involve a hot tub or a steam room?
Yes, it does.
Oh my God! Okay, this
Yes,
we
it
will not
does.
tell this on air. But I
It's
knew
it's a crazy story, but it involves a shower. We'll leave it at that.
Oh well, we'll way to leave in suspense. We'll do the follow-up interview, I guess.
Hey, this is Bob Simon, the host of Bourbon of Proof. This tour we couldn't do without our sponsors. EvenUp is an artificial intelligence platform that automates a lot of the mundane tasks that lawyers and law firm staff do, from demand letters to running playbooks to opening up claims, ordering police reports, and doing those so you can spend more quality time with your clients in the courtroom or in their living room. We also have Attorney Share. Attorney Share is a product to be able to have lawyers find more cases in their wheelhouse to help clients without having to have the market spend that's out there, and also tracking all of your referrals in one place. It integrates with all the major case management platforms, and it allows lawyers to really better serve their clients and also refer out clients in other jurisdictions and practice areas and be able to monetize all of that goodwill that they put in. Our other sponsor is Justice HQ. Justice HQ is a mobile app bringing together all the community in the legal field. from vendors to staff to paralegals. They have own masterminds. They have our podcasts are on there. Other lawyers' podcasts are on there. On-demand education, every event in the industry, and you have direct access to the best of the best. And of course, Coastal Research. Coastal Research helps all of us injury lawyers find out the insurance limits through investigation that's on the other side. Whether you know it or not, they're not required to in many states to tell you how much insurance there is for the person that catastrophically harmed your clients. But Coastal Research is able to do it very quickly and efficiently for you. They have an actual technology platform that's so easy to use and pushes the data back and forth. We only let people sponsor the show if we use their products and believe in them.
So what's it like balancing? I mean, balance being a trial lawyer, a mom of twins, and at one point when you had your practice and sell it, because I want to hear the story. I mean, very rarely do we have friends of ours that we know that sold their practice. So what was that like?
Yeah, it was an awesome experience. You know, probably the best decision I could have made. A lot of it, you know, I credit to you actually, because you're always pushing people to start their own firm and do their own thing and make a name for themselves and that sort of thing. So, you know, I was like, how scary can it be? And so I'm really glad I did it. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, is running my own firm and also being a practicing attorney and also having twins, you know, but you find a way to do it. I heard someone describe it recently as it's like you're juggling a bunch of balls, but some are glass, and you have to figure out which ones are glass and which ones aren't. And sometimes you make the wrong decision, right? It's like sometimes you think things are important and something's more important, but it's a learning process. And so I feel like I had the opportunity to be where a lot of people don't go right away in their career, which is realizing how to value your law firm, because there's so many people I've talked to who are getting ready to retire, and that's the time they first start thinking about, okay, how do I value my firm, and how do I sell it, and what do I do? And that's kind of too late at that point. So I had the opportunity to, you know, kind of in the middle of my career, to learn all about that process. And I worked with someone who values law firms. That's what she does in day out, and realized what really drives value. And so now I know that, and that's such a benefit to know that now.
The person they used, were they out of the Carolinas by chance?
You know, I don't know where she's out of. Victoria Collier
That
was her
wasn't what I'm
name.
thinking.
Yeah.
But what are some things that, I mean, a lot of people watching, listening to the show know that other law firms buying law firms, how do they value them, what things are they looking at? So walk us through kind of things that you had to set yourself up for to be able to do it.
So one big thing is having a DBA, because you have to think about, you know, if you're the John Smith law firm and then you retire, who's going to want to buy the John Smith law firm? It might have a lot of value, but your name is associated with it. And so the importance of having a DBA, like Justice Team.
Yep, that's why we do
it. So that's one thing that really drives value. Also having a lot of good systems in place, policies and procedures. How systematic and automatic is your practice? How easy could someone just come in, buy it, and be able to implement those same processes? And then your book of business, which in a contingency firm is really all of your contacts. So referral sources, prior clients, who sends you business, basically, and how have you cultivated those relationships? Those are some big value drivers.
Yeah, and they also look at, you know, how repeatable is your process, for advertising firms, what's your ROI, what's your spend, what's your return on investment, how quick, all those data points, which we live in a lot of case management systems. You just have to know how to look for them. Mauro, you're big into those systems. I mean, you know everything about your firm.
Oh, yeah.
Which people, you'd be surprised. But I see this guy log into his case peer and just see everything that's going on.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm kind of a hybrid. I do like to take advantage of technology. I have, my office, we use Even Up, we use Case Peer, we use Lead Docket, we use all the latest technology and things, but there's certain things that I'm still old school about, as I'm famous for my mail, that I like to read the actual real mail after it's been scanned and Foundation AI and whatever, all the other shit.
Which he has. He has
Yes.
Foundation. So do I, which works, but he just
But in
doesn't.
my office, the mail goes in bankers' boxes, and they put it in my office, and I read through the letters just like I have for the last 27 years. Manually, I go through every letter, and I read the letters, and I even brought some on the plane with me because I had time to do some more review.
So who's sending you letters?
Insurance companies and
I
defense
feel like
lawyers.
I don't get letters anymore. It's just
Oh,
emails
They
or
still
buckets
send
of
letters.
them.
They still send
Wow.
letters.
Okay.
So I read medical reports. I like to read the the meds come in. I like to read the meds. I mean, I don't know. just been practicing for a long time, and we did it like that forever. I'm not going to change. So everyone else in my office is reading Foundation AI sends them an alert that says, we scan this document into whatever folder from this place, so you can review it. But not for me.
He says he's like a truffle pig looking for value. He's like,
Yes.
there's a corporation that's
I'm
probably a good
sniffing
one.
around. I'm sniffing around the mail looking for action.
Yeah. So, but that was your firm in Colorado. Right? So, I mean, how does one go about looking for an acquirer? Is there a whole? How does that go about?
Yeah, so I mean, I had a partner, and so it worked out well because now, she manages the firm. But, I think really the key is finding, where do you want to land next? And I got super lucky to land at a really great firm in Michigan that does actually mostly med-mal. And so I handle all the auto and trucking. But it's a really cool dynamic because a lot of my partners, they don't know what a standard trucking case settles for or what it's worth, right? And same with me and med-mal, because I don't handle a lot of med-mal cases. And so that's the perfect person to bounce ideas off of, case value strategies. So it's been a really good, a really good setup.
And what firm are you at now?
I'm at Olsman Mackenzie Peacock. They're in Berkeley, Michigan, which is like 30 minutes from here. Yeah.
So but you have complete autonomy on, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
That's the
So
way
it's
that
been
should be.
really, really great.
I always say lawyers, whenever they have their own firm and move to their next adventure, it's hard to give up the control to do whatever you want. But people that I know go to another firm that have the control to do whatever they want.
Sure.
Seems to work out.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard to get out of that mindset too. I'm still very adamant that I bring in my own cases and I'm still developing those referral partners because it's like once you do that, because when I started my firm, we started with 0 clients. And so we didn't do like billboard marketing or anything like that. So it was a lot of those referral partnerships and cultivating relationships with current clients, past clients. That's honestly where most of our cases come from. So we are really big, and I'm still big on, sending birthday cards. And a lot of my clients are around my age or younger. And so I feel like I can relate to them really well. Some of them are getting engaged, getting married. So I send, congratulations cards.
Yeah, you send cool gifts like this, they remember you forever.
I think it's important because these cases take time, especially wrongful death cases and catastrophic injury cases. So it's someone you end up getting to know pretty well.
Yeah, in Michigan, though, you have like it's not like personal injury protection type law.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
gosh.
so just explain to everybody that's what
get me
what that
started
is.
on that.
Well, yeah, just explain what it is. People don't know. Do you know what
Yeah.
this is, PIP
What,
stuff?
PIP?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that in Washington State, too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was probably the biggest change from
You
Colorado.
have a threshold one in Washington, right? There's a straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a threshold here too for the third-party cases. So PIP essentially means that when you're in a crash, you go through your own insurance company for economic damages. So medical bills, lost wages, you really only go after the third party for pain and suffering and non-economic damages. So you have to meet a threshold first. It has to be, serious impairment of a body function, which is pretty easy to meet. And then, I guess the biggest challenge is, just making sure the PIP is paying your client's bills, because if not, you have to file the PIP lawsuit.
But I feel like they would always deny
They
and find
do.
a reason. Yeah,
That,
it's
I feel
bullshit.
like it's a racket. So
Yeah, in
we have-
Washington, there's PIP, and there's no threshold requirement to go after the third party.
Yeah.
But what's crazy is on the PIP side, because you can essentially have lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit for like 20 years. So we have clients who are catastrophically injured in 2008, for example, and they're paying their meds for a while, and then all of a sudden, there's the arbitrary decision that comes down from the insurance company that's like, oh, I think you're getting too much in attendant care.
Well, is there like
Or-
a maximum PIP limit?
So many people have unlimited.
See, that I've never seen in Washington. California, we don't have PIP. In Washington, California, we have MedPay.
But you still have workers' comp that
yeah.
can pay.
But in Washington, most of the PIPs are 10,000.
Okay. So that's a little different. Here, when it's
different.
unlimited, of course, the insurance company is going to fight you tooth and nail and be like, never mind, you should be cut off. This isn't related anymore.
And they also
Right.
did like Medicare rates and all
Yes.
those things. So
Yeah.
it's really
There's a fee
unfair to the
schedule.
injured person because it's not like, oh, it's Medicare rates, so that's what they're going to accept. Well, they also fight it and say that it's not
Yes.
related, so it's really screwed
Right.
up. Man.
It is.
But
Yeah.
Michigan's just such an interesting place.
Yeah. So I'm honestly starting to like premises cases better. I might be calling you on some because
Yeah.
they don't involve PIP. So that's
So, wait,
nice.
they wouldn't. That makes
Yeah.
sense. But what's premises law like here?
Well, we got rid of Open and Obvious recently, so that was a win.
Good.
They're trying
we
to.
still have that. We just have
Yeah.
to. It's a jury instruction. You have to fight, but
Yeah.
Did you know that, like I was telling her before we started that I'm friends with Frank Azar from Colorado, where she used to practice. And Azar, is well known in Colorado. He's a great guy, by the way. Anyone doesn't know, you might have heard of Frank Azar's story or two out there, but if you never met him and hung with him, you'd know the guy's a fucking great guy. Love the guy. But he always tells me, you're so lucky in California that they got rid of premises in Colorado, which they passed a law where it's actual notice only.
really,
There's no constructive
you would
notice.
think Colorado, like a progressive state,
No,
would do
fuck,
better.
Colorado's got crazy tort reform. But Azar said they put the premises lawyers out of business with this actual notice. You have to show actual notice in Colorado, no constructive notice, which would kill me in California too. If they passed that, I'd be out of the premises business too.
Yeah, that must have changed since I was practicing there.
Yeah, it was recent. They changed it. He always complains about it because he said he used to do a lot of
But,
premises.
coming from Frank, we got to verify this. I mean,
Right.
might be true.
Now, Frank knows what's going on over there. He's friends with the Attorney General and stuff. He's
He's got to be the highest volume.
yeah, I mean, I think he's
in
the biggest.
Denver. Who's the highest volume firm? Is it Frank? Who gets the most cases?
I think so.
Frank.
Yeah.
Is Morgan and Morgan there yet? I don't even know.
They may have just gotten there.
Well, they're
It's
here
got
in
other
Detroit,
firms.
and we'll have one of the
Yeah.
guests on the show tomorrow who's at Morgan and Morgan. Well, I mean, Chrissy, how do people find you? What's the best way to find you?
Yeah, so probably just via email, chagen@oldsmanlaw.com. I'm also happy to give my cell phone. It's 248-202-3172.
He's
I always-
writing it down in his mind. Look at him. He's got it. He's like a steel trap.
Now I've got the digits. No, I also give my cell phone out pretty freely
Yeah.
because, hey, it's 310-213-7257. You got a case, call me.
Yeah,
Anytime.
That's my number.
You're getting all the cases.
But yeah, no, I mean, my wife always says, why do you give your clients your cell number? I was like, because then they call me with when their cousin gets in an accident. That's why.
Right.
I do this for a living here. You know what I mean? This is how we
Yeah.
pay the bills. They can call me anytime they want.
Yeah, it
Ask
doesn't-
Bob. I'll answer the phone
Anytime.
anywhere.
But it doesn't
any
mean
place.
you have to pick it up either. It's
Yeah.
or like if people look at my phone, it's like, how do you have like 20,000 unread text messages? It's like,
Oh my gosh, your screenshots. You had the 399 on the one you posted the other day. I was
Yeah,
like,
that's pretty bad.
He has a lot of unread
Unread-
text
that many
messages.
unread texts?
text. I probably have more than that unread.
That's nuts, man. What if one of them's important?
They're not, obviously. I mean, I don't like when people may think that I read it because I don't want them to think that I saw it, so I just ignore it so I don't have to go back to,
My brother has the red receipts, and I'm like, you have that on. Because I always assume people do it and don't realize
turn it off.
And he's like, yeah, so people can see that I ignore them.
Ooh, that's a power play.
Oh, okay, it's fair.
I like his style.
Well, Chrissy, thanks for coming on this episode of Bourbon of Proof. At the end of the show, we always ask, what's your Bourbon of Proof? And we know that you're not mostly a brown water drinker, but what's your go-to at home? It doesn't have to be the bourbon. So what do you usually drink? What's your poison of choice?
Sauvignon Blanc or tequila is my choice.
What
But
was the second one?
tequila.
Tequila?
She said a Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah,
Sauvignon
I'm not a
yeah.
big wine drinker, but I mean, if I was going to drink wine, maybe that'd be one of the ones I would drink.
Yeah.
Definitely not red.
Dude, I see you fucking suck down like sangria when we're in Spain.
Well,
all
if you're
day.
paying the tab, I am.
No
You
shit.
know-
Last time,
This is
what's
true.
what's a steakhouse in Charleston that's down the street?
Hall's Chop House.
Hall's.
Yeah.
So we go to Hall. Well, he went to Hall's. Somebody, the guy that owns K-Status, he's like, I got this bottle, 145 proof. He's like, I'll go drink it. We got in a van. I went to drink it. Came back to Hall's. Hour and a half later, he's half asleep. He's like, my phone is dead. Here's the bill. I was like, what?
Well,
And
I didn't
literally-
have my wallet.
He handed it to me. I was like,
I didn't have my wallet.
like $2,000.
I was
like,
going to
what
pay
a-
with Apple Pay, but my phone died. So I was like, hey, Bob, perfect. You showed up here. Pay the
Yeah.
tab for us.
And for the show, I'm going to show you videos that people shot of Mauro sleeping at the fucking table. My ass.
Well, I
falling
had a
out.
fucking ribeye and a couple of glasses of wine. I mean, what do you want from me?
He just said he didn't have wine.
I
Gotcha.
did that day.
We got you. So yeah, we got him. Well, Chrissy, thanks for coming on this episode of Bourbon of Proof. Thank you, Detroit. Thank you, Gillies Clubhouse. Episode 1.